Welcome to Facts vs. Stats. You see the title to this video. Dillon Brooks should be rewarded. Yep, he should be rewarded. First off, thank you for coming to watch my video. Like, comment, make sure you subscribe. But let's get into it.
So official, yeah, we so official. Always had the stripes, but never blew the whistle. Line for line, I ain't gonna bargain with you. Nah, you can bet your life, my life is so official. Look, top shotter, I'm God's product. Raised with a pack of them wolves in a rock wall.
So the Memphis Grizzlies just released Dillon Brooks right after the playoffs is over, or for the Memphis Grizzlies at least. And I'm in shock. I'm in awe. I'm thinking about, all the stories out how LeBron James shut him down and he was this and he was that. But we're gonna get into the facts. Time to take the gloves off, get into the facts, like what really happened. Because nobody's talking about the facts. Yeah, the Lakers won. Yeah, Dillon Brooks talked a lot of trash. But let's get into the facts. The facts of the matter is, the man didn't lie. The man didn't lie. And he did what you would want somebody that's guarding LeBron James to do. Let's run this down. We're gonna talk about Dillon Brooks. He got released. The Memphis Grizzlies put out a statement, as you saw on the screen, that said he will not be brought back under any circumstances. Wow. Like, what did he do wrong? He called LeBron James old. Last time I checked, LeBron James is like the second or third oldest player in the NBA. He called him old. So the fuck what? He is old. It's the truth. Next, he got fined $25K for not speaking to the media. Okay. Now this one right here, okay, you got fined $25K. Now, if you're gonna dish it out, you gotta be able to take it, Dillon Brooks. You're gonna dish it out, you gotta be able to take it. So the $25K fine for not showing up to talk to the media after the games, he deserved that. Because you're talking a lot of trash out there. You're a competitor. I love it. But you got to take what comes with the trash talk. And that's talking to the media about it. You lose, stand up on the podium, and take them questions like a man, right on the chin. That's not a big deal to me. He's obviously didn't care about the fine. So he got fined. But let's get into the facts. The facts is he called LeBron old. We already know LeBron's old. He said, I don't respect him till he dropped 40 on me. This is what you want a competitor to say. I don't respect him till he dropped 40 on me. That's how I feel too. You give a fuck if it's LeBron James or not. You ain't on my team. You want me to be nice to him because he's LeBron James? Nah. And did LeBron James drop 40 on him? Absolutely not. Actually, LeBron James didn't even drop 30 on him. See, these are the facts and the stats. See, the media wants you to believe that Dillon Brooks got killed. The media wants you to believe that LeBron James shut Dillon Brooks up. LeBron James this, LeBron James. Yeah, I love LeBron too. But the fact of the matter is, Dillon Brooks did something that has only happened 3 times in LeBron James' entire NBA career in a playoff series. See, they're not talking about that. But before we get to that, let's talk about the Memphis Grizzlies releasing him. I'm trying to understand why. Like, why did they release him? Does he talk trash to LeBron James? Because he didn't come to the media? That happens all the time. Throughout the season, multiple players. What did he do wrong? I'm still baffled by the reason they released him. Are you saying that it's his fault that we lost the series? Absolutely not. Dillon Brooks has nothing to do with the Memphis Grizzlies losing the series. Nothing. Yeah, he could have hit a couple more shots. Who couldn't have? But he did his job. See, the sports media, all the stories are about Dillon Brooks getting shamed by LeBron James and Dillon Brooks getting killed by LeBron James, and now Memphis has let go of Dillon Brooks. He's a problematic player. Since when is he a problematic player? Since when is he a reason? See, this is the deal. They want him to be the scapegoat for a loss or the series loss. He's the scapegoat right now when he should be getting rewarded. Because if we want to talk about the real issue is your star player. The real issue is that your star player had numerous instances of off-court activities that were detrimental to the team. He's probably the reason y'all went to the playoffs playing like shit. Because he missed 8 games, which he should have been suspended for the rest of the year, in my opinion, for brandishing a gun on camera. But, I mean, they found a way to wiggle him out of that so he can play in the playoffs. But that is a huge distraction. He was a huge distraction for the team, for the organization, for the chemistry. But nobody's talking about that, though. So this is why I say Dillon Brooks should be rewarded. Because they could have been talking about that. They could have been talking about that after every game of the Lakers series. But instead, Dillon Brooks took the attention off of Ja Morant in that whole situation that happened by stepping up to the plate and saying, man, LeBron James, I'm about to do him. He ain't about to do nothing to me this series. He old, he this, he that. I'm locking him up. I don't respect him, this, that. That became the story. People forgot that one of the biggest stars in the NBA just had a whole legal issue with a gun and beating up a kid and all these other instances and beams on other teams at their games and all these other issues that are just outrageous for real. He took the attention off of all that. And he kind of took the attention off of Ja Morant. So in my opinion, he took the pressure off of Ja Morant and allowed Ja Morant to go out there and just play basketball and not have to deal with those questions after these games, because he should have had to deal with that. But he didn't. Because everybody's talking about Dillon Brooks and disrespecting LeBron James. And he didn't disrespect LeBron James. He told the truth. He's old. What's wrong with saying that? See, he's a competitor. He's a defender. He playing against this guy for the last 6 years of his career. Obviously, something he's seen in LeBron James' game make him try to stir up the pot. Get LeBron James off his game. Help his team win, possibly. And like I said before, he did his job. He did his job. Now, Ja Morant, on the other hand, nobody's talking about the 40-point loss, and he had 10 points. See, the story's about Dillon Brooks right now. Everybody's talking about Dillon Brooks and him getting released and how he was some kind of issue with him, and he could have been he's not the reason. Why is nobody talking about your star player who was out all this turmoil, all these different issues outside the basketball court, having 10 points in game 6, and they lose by 40. Ja Morant had 10 points, shot 3 for 16 from the field, and they lost by 40 points to the Lakers in the closeout game. Why is nobody talking about that? 3 for 16 from the field. Now, game 5, which is a must-win game for the Memphis Grizzlies, LeBron James had 15 points. 15. Now, who's the primary defender on LeBron James this whole series? Somebody tell me. Dillon Brooks. LeBron James had 15 points because of Dillon Brooks. But let's take it a step further. This is where the facts come in. LeBron James in this series versus the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, in this series, game 1, 21 points. Game 2, 28 points. Good game. Game 3, 25 points. Game 4, 22 points. Game 5, 15 points. Game 6, 22 points. Now you'll go and say, okay, that's pretty good. But are those LeBron James numbers? Are those LeBron James numbers? Take it a step further. Are those LeBron James playoff numbers. This is what nobody's talking about. In the series versus the Memphis Grizzlies, LeBron James averaged 22.1 points a game. 22.1 points a game in the series versus the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, you might not think nothing of that. Oh, he had an off series, whatever. No. Dillon Brooks guarded him the whole series. Dillon Brooks is known as a 6'7" defender. Dillon Brooks said he's old. Dillon Brooks said, I don't respect nobody till he drops 40 on me. Dillon Brooks said, I poked the bear. Did LeBron James respond? Some might say he did. I beg to differ. Because in LeBron James' entire NBA career, his entire career, there's only been 2 other NBA playoff series where he averaged less than 22 points a game. Out of all the playoff series LeBron James been in, more than anybody, he has the most playoff games ever. So out of all the playoff series he's ever been into in 20 years, this is the 3rd least amount of points he's ever averaged in a series. Thanks to who? Dillon Brooks. And you're like, oh man, that's a crazy stat. Yeah, it's a crazy stat, but nobody's talking about that. They're too busy vilifying Dillon Brooks instead of rewarding Dillon Brooks for doing his job, because the Lakers didn't win this series versus Memphis Grizzlies because of LeBron James. LeBron James didn't take over and lead the Lakers past the Memphis Grizzlies. LeBron James is not the catalyst and the reason why the Lakers won the series versus the Memphis Grizzlies. That's not the case. And they make it look like the case in the media because LeBron James has to be the LeBron James, and he's great. But we're talking facts. We're talking facts. LeBron James did make the go-ahead bucket in Game 6. He did. The go-ahead bucket to kind of seal the game, being guarded by Dillon Brooks. So that looks like, you know, he did his thing. Screamed all crazy afterwards. But the game didn't have to be that close. If LeBron James was being LeBron James that we all know of the past. But Dillon Brooks was guarding him all game, all series, and doing a hell of a job all series, all game. He's LeBron James. He's gonna score on you. Yes. Just so happens he made the big bucket at the right time on Dillon Brooks. So the optics look bad. Oh, he killed Dillon Brooks. Oh, he destroyed him. No, he didn't. He made a clutch bucket on him. Yes, he did. That sealed the game. Yes, he did. But killed him? Destroyed him? Shut him down? Shut him up? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There's 2 other times LeBron James averaged 22 or less in a playoff series. 2 other times. One time being in the finals. Yeah. In the finals. Excuse me. Let me rephrase myself. Both times being in the finals. The only 2 times he's ever averaged 22 points or less a game. Now remember, this series versus Memphis, he averaged 22.1. The only 2 other times were 2006 in the finals. In the finals versus the Spurs when he played for Cleveland. They got swept by the Spurs. His first finals appearance, I think it was, he got swept. Spurs whooped that ass. It wasn't ready for Popovich. He averaged 22 points even. 4 games, he averaged 22 points even that series. And the next time was in the finals again against Dallas in the 2010-11 season when they lost to Dirk in Dallas. He averaged 17.8 points a game in that series. So out of the other 17 years of his career, I think he made the playoffs 18 years out of the 20 years he's played so far. So out of all the other series he's ever played, and remember, he's been to the finals 10 times. So that's 4 series, first round, semis, conference finals, NBA finals. That's 4 series in 1 playoffs, 10 different times, plus the other times he went to the playoffs. So out of all those times, he's averaged 22 points or less twice. And Dillon Brooks held him to his 3rd lowest series average ever in over 12, 13 years. If you ask me, he did a phenomenal job. If I'm Dillon Brooks, I'm patting myself on the back. I held LeBron to 22 points a game. We should have won the series. In my opinion, I did my job. All to go home and get cut 2 days after the series is over. So this is facts versus stats. We talking about the facts. The fact of the matter is, Dillon Brooks didn't deserve to get cut. Dillon Brooks should be rewarded. Dillon Brooks should be talked about, saying that he's a good defender and he did some damage holding LeBron James to 22 points a game. He did a great job doing that because everybody else has not done that to the greatest player that some say of all time. So that's something to be commended. That's something to be rewarded. But he ain't get no credit for that. Nah, he gets no credit for that. And that's sad because Dillon Brooks is a very good, serviceable player in the NBA. He plays good defense, guard positions 1 through 4. You know, he got an attitude problem. So what? Who doesn't? Draymond Green got an attitude problem. We don't talk about him like this. He didn't get cut. A lot of players with attitude problems. You need a tough, gritty player on your team. This guy guarded all the best players in the league. And something else nobody's talking about is how this changes the defense of Memphis Grizzlies. They are now not the same defensive team they were before they let him go. Because a lot of that defense was on his back. He was the guy guarding Kevin Durant and the Devin Bookers. He was the guy guarding those guys, giving those guys hell all night long. He's not on the team for his offense, even though he could probably score more than he did. He wasn't there for his offense. They wanted him to be a 3 and D guy. He took the challenge. He did good. Don't get me wrong, I don't love Dillon Brooks. I'm not a Dillon Brooks fan. I don't think he's the greatest player ever. I don't care. The fact is, in my opinion, he did nothing wrong. He said LeBron was old. True. He said he doesn't respect LeBron, respect nobody till they drop 40 on him. I say the same thing if I'm a defender. I'm not out here to be your friend. I'm out here to win games and be a gritty competitor, stop whoever's on the other side. That's my job. So him saying that, you know, he poked the bear and that's what he's supposed to say. I want that guy. That's Patrick Beverly. That's PJ Tucker. That's Draymond Green. He's that kind of player. And you need that. And another thing is this. He's being ridiculed for this, but this is the identity of the Memphis team all year. The biggest trash talker on their team is not Dillon Brooks, it's Ja Morant. The same guy that was brandishing a gun on video. So why is he being punished or cut, lost his job, for being what the identity of the team has been? Trash talking, young, gritty. Why is he being punished for this now? Oh no, he's not being punished. He's being a scapegoat. Not just for losing the game, but for losing the series. He's being the scapegoat to cover up the mishaps of Ja Morant in Game 6 and the mishaps of Ja Morant outside the court. Because that's no longer being talked about. And that's the biggest story, if you ask me. How did he get only 8-game suspension? What's going to happen with these things that are going on? Is somebody pressing charges on him? That's a bigger story. Yeah, he's the star. He gets more of a leeway, but that doesn't matter. I think Dillon Brooks was done wrong. I don't think he deserved to be cut. And I think that he'll be a serviceable player for many teams in the NBA. Not many 6'7" guys that can guard 1 through 4. He averaged 14 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists in the regular season. Those are good numbers for a guy that's not part of the offense. Those are good numbers for a guy that's not part of the offense, that is only there to play defense and maybe hit the open 3 once in a while. So good luck to Dillon Brooks. I'm sure you'll be on a team by next season, sir. Shout out to all the players, all the fans. This is facts versus stats. We're just trying to keep it real, man. We're just trying to keep it real. Dillon Brooks didn't deserve that. And let's talk about what's really going on. Ja Morant had 10 points, 3 for 16. They lost by 40. He's the star. Where's that accountability? Well, nobody talking about that. Let's keep it real. This is facts versus stats. Like, comment, subscribe. Help me get the subscribers up to 1K. Let's keep it going. About to do a lot more talking, though. Thanks to the people that already subscribed. Thanks to the guys that already are here. Become part of the team. I got to start getting on this microphone more. This is facts versus stats. Be out.